Greetings and salutations, YouTube family and friends. TRavlogs here. What's up, guys? So now that you've seen all of the convention trips that I've been on, at least in the past 3 months, we've seen 3 different types: anime convention, comic book convention, and furry convention. And while I've had fun at all 3 conventions, I did happen to notice something about one of them that was just a little bit different. I didn't know it at the time, but I had gone to 2 separate types of conventions. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? When I was at Wizard World, I felt something a little bit different. In my last video, you'll recall that I talked about con feel, or how the con felt to me, the mood that the convention conveyed overall while we were there. And at Wizard World, I noticed it felt just a little bit different. It didn't match up to the same as Kawakan, GFM, and ASTL. I have a theory for that. Kawakan, ASTL, and GFM are what we call fan-run conventions, or conventions that the fans put together for the attendees to come to. They're like, well, we're fans of this particular type of thing, so we should have other fans come to this venue and we'll all share in our fandom together, and we'll have a great time. Wizard World, on the other hand, is what I would like to call a corporate con, or a convention that a company decides to run, or puts in an algorithm. Okay, A plus B equals maximum profit for us, so this will have the most amount of people come to our event so we can get the most money, get the most bang for our buck. We really don't care so much about the attendees on an individual basis, but it lines our pockets with money, so we're happy, right? Right. So let's look a little bit deeper as to why all this tends to happen. At the fan-run conventions, or at least the fan-run conventions that I attended, the con feel was that of me being able to mesh a lot better with the convention experience as a whole. A while back I said in my costuming video that the whole reason I do it is to be a part of the convention experience instead of just showing up to a convention and checking things out from the outside looking in perspective. At the fan-run conventions, I felt that happened very smoothly. It was very natural. It was almost like we weren't attendees going to a convention, but we were family, all coming together to celebrate what it was we were fans of. And the staff reflected that. The staff took care of their attendees. I know Bob and Brandy were on a first-name basis with most of the con chairs that we saw when we went to ASTL or Kawakan, and at GFM, the con chair herself asked us if we had gotten any food recently because they brought some into the convention for everybody to have. So she was genuinely concerned about her attendees. So it gives us a better chance to be on a more personal level with the staff as well as the other attendees, and we can mesh more as a fandom together that way. Also, at fan-run conventions, and you could probably tell this was coming from what I said in my review for Wizard World, at the convention, you didn't have to pay extra money to do other things. With the exception of getting food elsewhere and any merchandise that you want in the dealer's room, when you go to a convention, you shouldn't have to pay anything extra because you already paid for your registration and most likely a hotel room to stay for the entire weekend. And that can set you back sometimes, quite a bit. So you don't want to have to spend any extra money. Now let's move on to the con feel of Wizard World. Now, while I did have a lot of fun, and the people who ran the costume contest did thank us first and foremost for coming as attendees, because if we didn't, they wouldn't have a convention, I can't really say that I felt like up the ladder that same type of gratitude was met. As I said, I did go to the convention in costume. There were others in costume with me, but for some strange reason, I just didn't feel like it all meshed together. As I said before in my previous videos, it felt like I was at an exhibition just kind of looking at everything and not really being able to be a part of the experience as a whole. And maybe that was because Wizard World was a lot more huge than the other conventions that I went to. But somehow I have a feeling it has to do with how the convention was run. And as I said before in my Wizard World review, Everything you wanted to do cost more money. You wanted to play video games, cost you more money. You wanted to get autographs, it cost more money. At ASTL, when we went to meet Chuck Huber, a very well-known voice actor in the anime and video game world, he didn't charge any extra for autographs if you already had something for him to sign. He didn't charge any extra for a picture or a video. He didn't charge any extra for a hug. He was basically just there to enjoy the fans. And we enjoyed him right back, trust me. At Wizard World, if you even looked at a celebrity, a lot of times you got the stink eye from their agent, because you didn't pay any money to talk to them yet. And as a fan, that really made a lot of us feel alienated, like we couldn't be more personal with the guests because we had to stand behind this line and we had to either pay the agent the money or pay the convention the money to get the autograph, or be gone, simpleton. And that's not really what you want if you want your attendees to feel welcome at your convention. Now, this didn't just happen at Wizard World. A long time ago, I attended a traveling convention called Kunikon. Incidentally, it was my very first anime convention of that time, so I had no idea what I was in for. And maybe it was the fact that it was my first convention, but again, I felt like I was on the outside looking in, and I couldn't really be a part of the experience. I didn't dress up in costume, but I also didn't feel a connection with a lot of the other attendees and a lot of the staffers. It was a company, a for-profit company, mind you, who decided to put all this together and see if they could maximize profits. When this happens, yes, a con can happen, but you don't get the tightly knit group. You don't get the family-like feel. You don't get the well-meshed together con feel that you would at a fan-run con. So that's the big difference. And again, I did have fun at all the conventions I attended, but I seem to have a different kind of fun at the fan-run conventions than I had at the corporate conventions. So my advice to the corporate cons to better your convention feel in the future, above all else, take care of your attendees. They are not just statistics. They are not numbers. They are not profits that you fill your pockets with full of that money. They are people. They are fans. And they wish to come to your venue so they can explore and celebrate their fandom. And they want to be able to do it in a welcome environment where they feel like they belong. At a corporate con, at least the ones nowadays, it's more, give us all your money, go look at the shiny things and spend more money, which, by the way, if you want to be a vendor at one of those conventions, it's going to pretty much break you financially. And that's that. You're left drained, at least your pocketbook is, and probably your body as well from all the walking that you'll have to do, but that's a con. And at the end of the day, you may have some memorabilia, or you may not, because you spent all your money. It's the memories that last the longest, and the type of memories that you have really dependent upon how much the staff cares about their attendees. And at a fan-run con, it feels a lot more genuine than it does a corporate con. So that's really all I have to say about my comparison to fan-run cons versus corporate cons. Like I said, I just kind of noticed this from the 3 different conventions that I've gone to recently. The con feel was just very different when it came to fan-run cons and corporate cons. So, if you guys have attended any of these conventions, let me know in the comments below how you felt the con feel was. Did you feel like you meshed well with the convention? Did you feel like you were part of a big family? Or did you just kind of stand outside the window and look inside and wish but not do anything about it? I'd really love to hear from you. As I say in all of my videos, I like having discussions with you guys. It's fun. So that's really all I have to say about that. So until next time, talk to you soon and take care. Bye-bye.